talking about, as you guessed, Blackbeard. Blackbeard was supposedly a sailor born in the town of Bristol in the 1680s. In 1701, the war called the War of Spanish Succession began. In this war were a group of people called privateers. Privateers were essentially pirates with licenses. They were given a thing called a letter of the mark, which is a letter signed by the king of their nation, and they were permitted to attack ships of enemy nations. But they're not technically pirates, they're licensed pirates. Blackbeard was supposedly one of these privateers, working on the behalf of England out of Jamaica after the war ended in 1714. Blackbeard is in the Caribbean, doesn't have a job of any kind, and he's just left there, essentially in the dust. And he can either go back to England and get a normal job, or what he could do is become a pirate, which is, in my opinion, far cooler. So he becomes a pirate. Blackbeard first set sail on a pirate adventure in late 1716 under the command of the pirate Benjamin Hornigold. And in the spring of 1717, they went across the colonies of what is now the United States. And they sacked a few ships, and pretty successful. So after very successful plundering and sacking off the coast of the Americas, what they do is they head back for the West Indies, to the Windward Islands actually, and they encounter the ship La Concorde, which is a French ship. It's a rather large frigate. Hornigold lets Blackbeard captain La Concorde. So at this time the ship only had 16 cannons. Blackbeard refitted her with an extra 24 and beefing up her armament to 40 cannons, and renamed her the Queen Anne's Revenge. Blackbeard continues to cruise off to St. Vincent and captures a large merchant ship called the Great Allen, cleans her out of all her cargo, and set the ship afire and had her crew go ashore. On the island of Barbados, the ship, the HMS Scarborough, a 32-gun man-of-war, was alerted of Blackbeard's activity. So what the Scarborough does is she pursues Blackbeard. After testing her firepower, the Scarborough realizes that the Queen Anne's Revenge is too powerful to take on and returns to Barbados. Blackbeard's next destination, the Spanish America. So when Blackbeard sails to Spanish America, he encounters a 10-cannon sloop named the Revenge, which is captained by a pirate named Stede Bonnet, who, in my personal opinion, is one of the dumbest people alive. Was a rich man who left England left a large estate of land and a lot of money to pursue a career in pirating. But he was an ill-equipped sailor, wasn't good at sailing, using sailing equipment, pirating. He wasn't the most experienced mariner, so Blackbeard places one of his high-ranking men in command of Bonnet's sloop, the Revenge. So they set sail for the Bay of Honduras, where, while restocking on fresh water, encounter the sloop Adventure. They capture Adventure, and Blackbeard sends several of his men to captain her. And now Blackbeard has a whole total of 3 ships. For a pirate, that's not bad at all. Then they eventually sail to the Bay of Honduras, where they encounter 5 ships in the bay, 4 of which are sloops, the other which is a bigger ship. Once they capture the ship, after firing a few cannons and raising the black flag, the ship surrenders, and in a fit of rage, the pirates burn the bigger ship and one of the sloops, because the ship came from Boston and the location where several pirates had been hung. And they're not too big fans of that. They loot all 5 of those ships and burn 2 of them. And then what happens is Blackbeard sails to the Cayman Islands, captures some ships there, and then he sails to the Bahamas and all across the Caribbean, sacking a lot of ships, but then eventually finds himself off of the coast of Charleston, South Carolina. Hey, it's Carter from the future. Just want to let you guys know that we're splitting this into 2 parts because I wasn't pleased with the footage that I filmed of the second part, but I'm going to refilm it and hopefully it's going to be better, and part 2 will be coming out soon. Bye. is Capo. Capo, Capo.